Hi and welcome back to Explore VR with your host SutekiB. Today I'm going to be playing Dear Esther, testing it out on my Omni. And I'm not going to be playing the whole game, I just want to see how well the Omni performs as an input device. So far everything's working great, not having to adjust the sensitivity anymore. So it looks like the recent updates from Virtuix have got it very close, if not right there where it needs to be for the consumer launch. Right now it's in a beta testing phase. I'm one of those beta testers, so I'm also compiling some pre-configured third-party software files like Xpadder and some guides and X360 CE files. So I might as well use this opportunity to give you a bit of a tutorial on how I get these legacy games working with the Omni. It's not too much work. So the first thing that I would do is I would open up an X360 executable inside the game folder. So I've already put it there and it's already configured the way I want it, which is the Omni in keyboard mode and using a gamepad. But if I were to use a Cabela instead, it's going to recognize that when I open the application and close it again, it'll save it. So I don't need to do anything there. So I will just go straight into Steam and run the game. I have VorpX running, which will detect it and apply the correct settings, and I also have Xpadder with my own version of a profile that I've made that works with VorpX. So I'll tell you more about that once I get the game running, so just bear with me a second. While I get my headset on. Okay, so the first thing that I do once I get into the game is press the back button, which I've configured to now bring up a virtual cinema screen. So I have the head tracking, I can look around the screen, it's not making me nauseous, but it also centers it so that it's right in front of me now, so I don't have to turn around and find where the screen is. Now, Dear Esther, let me just turn the recorder on so you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, you won't see the virtual screen that I got in front of me, but you can see that this is kind of your classic exploration game rather than a first-person shooter. So I can use the gamepad, but to move I will just be walking on the Omni. And if you're looking for a legacy type game that's suitable for someone's first time in virtual reality, I think Dear Esther makes a great choice because it's very calm, it's very soothing. There's not a lot to confuse someone or overpower them. It really just kind of puts you in a variety of natural surroundings. So right now I'm on the shoreline. So currently I'm still in this virtual cinema screen mode. All I have to do is press the back button again, and now I have the field of view that I want. So yeah, let's take a walk. So I've already set the head tracking sensitivity to be the way I want it, and that will be in the guide that I've uploaded to the Pathfinder folder. But I'm going to show you how you would do it yourself. So here is a good place to do it. I have a fairly straight path here, extending either side. Now what I'm going to do is turn 180 degrees in real life and see if that matches how far I've turned in the game. So let's face one wall in this room, and as you can see I'm not aligned in the game, so I'm going to use the right analog stick, which is still enabled, to make me face down the path while I'm facing my opposite wall in real life. So if the head tracking sensitivity is correct, then when I turn around on the Omni, and I'm going to do it gently so that I don't trigger any walking, which probably wouldn't affect it anyway. But okay, so now I'm facing 180 degrees the other way. I take the headset off, and yeah, I'm facing exactly the opposite wall. But if the head tracking were off, if the head tracking were too sensitive, then in the game I would be facing further around. I'd be facing maybe that way. If the head tracking sensitivity weren't enough, I'd still be facing over here while I'm facing the wall in real life. So that's just one of the menu options in VorpX. It's something that you do once at the start of a particular game, and then it saves that profile for the game, and you don't have to worry about it again. So now I'm going to show you how well keyboard mode is working, and I'm really happy with it. They've done a fantastic job. So you can see the starting and stopping latency are really good. But there's something else about the keyboard mode which is so cool. I'm now going to show you walking really slowly on the Omni. And sure, the game is not going to pick that up. It's not going to make my character walk slowly. I just want to show you how smooth the motion is. So now I'm going to really move my feet as slowly as I can. And this motion is pretty much continuous in the game, even though I'm really barely moving my feet here. That just shows you the quality of the tracking that the Omni has. And it's the same if I walk backwards, really slowly. See how it's not a stuttery motion, it's really smooth. And there's another cool thing that I found out recently about the Omni's tracking in keyboard mode. I'm just going to go down onto the sand here and show you. So I've had a lot of experience with the Omni, and I have quite a full gait. I'm taking big steps, which is what you want to do. It feels more natural in the game then. But beginners, when they first try it, they haven't learned to kind of trust the harness and the ring, so they take smaller steps. They might kind of rest on the ring. So I'm going to do some really small steps now, and we'll see how well the tracking works when I'm doing that. See how small these steps are? I'm barely moving my feet at all, but look how good the motion is in the game. This is incredible. They have just done such a fantastic job. I mean, I can't really make my steps any smaller than this, and it's still picking it up perfectly. I'll do the same walking backwards. And that's just amazing. It really is. And strafing, strafing is great, even in keyboard mode. So what I'm going to do now is exit the game briefly, and I'm going to put the Omni into gamepad mode so that it's emulating a joystick. And I want you to check out the differences between the two. There's almost no difference in this game anyway. Both modes working really well, whatever kind of a gait that you have. So just bear with me a second while I go out of the game and switch the modes. So the Omni is now emulating a gamepad. I can still use this Xbox gamepad because of X360 CE, which is creating a kind of combined composite virtual gamepad. Let's try a different level. This is really atmospheric, this particular chapter. As I said, this game makes a really nice introduction for people who maybe are new to video games as well as virtual reality. All they have to do is walk around and explore and find the clues. Okay, so I'm pressing the back button, go into VR mode. Everything looks good. If my head angle weren't right, I could just adjust my character's point of view with the right analog stick, and then it's gonna pick up my tracking. Right, so this is the Omni in gamepad mode. As you can see, once again, latency, starting and stopping, really good. Continuous motion. So let's do what I was doing before, where I was walking as slowly as I can. See how this isn't a jerky motion? It's really smooth. So this is a really big improvement over the earlier version of the software. And I remember when it was using Microsoft Kinect for the tracking, when it had capacitive tracking. So let's let's just get rid of that message. Actually, what does it say? The moon. Oh, and then it starts to disappear. Great. Yeah, the resolution on the headset, because I'm using a DK2, isn't really quite good enough for reading text. So I'm really looking forward to getting my HTC Vive and my Oculus Rift consumer version when that eventually arrives. So this is really beautiful right here. Now, what a view! What a fantastic view! As I've said in my other videos, you know, everything is life size, so and three-dimensional. So just the scale of things, and the fact that it feels like you're really there because you have the head tracking, does just add a really awe-inspiring atmospheric effect to games that pay a lot of attention to the environment and the effects, like this mist that's kind of hanging over the water here, and the lighting is super effective. So the moon is looking really beautiful out there. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did before and take really little steps, as a beginner might do the first time they use the Omni, and see the tracking still picking that up. Let's go backwards. See, it's still picking up at least, you know, every step that I'm taking. It just fell down. Falling off some rocks here, that's a bit scary. This is why you should always watch where you're going. Alright, so as you can see, there's very little difference between the keyboard mode and the gamepad mode, both working super well. Really, really happy with that. And yeah, this is Dear Esther. I'd like to play a little bit more of it, but next up I'm going to be playing Bioshock Infinite, which is another gorgeous game from a few years ago. Oh yeah, before I go, I'm just going to show you again, see how you can turn around without triggering any accidental steps. This is despite the fact that before I was only moving my feet really, really slowly, and we're still picking up all of that when I was walking forward. So fantastic job by the software engineers over at Virtuix. Can't applaud you guys enough for doing this, so well done. Can't wait to play some more games with the Omni. Alright, see you guys next time.